California is undoubtedly the greatest state in the Union. We have the greatest sports teams, the greatest beaches, and the greatest weather. There's one other thing that California is number one at: childhood homelessness. An estimated 226,000 homeless children live in California, and 20% of all homeless people in the country also live in California. While it's hard to determine the exact number of homeless people living in Chico, anyone walking downtown can see the homeless problem getting worse and worse every year. The following story is fictional and serves only to educate on the services provided at the Jesus Center. As we all know, Chico can get notoriously cold in the winters, so when my landlord served us an eviction notice, I didn't know what to do or where to go. I did have some family, but they lived pretty far away. However, they did remind us of the services available to us, specifically the Jesus Center. At first I thought no way, they'd never let us in, but after that first cold night in the car, I thought I'd better give it a try. At the Jesus Center, we were welcomed with open arms. We were able to take a hot shower for the first time in days. I was able to call the people most important to us and let them know we were safe. And I was able to change my mailing address. Most importantly, I was able to provide a bed and hot meals for my family. And I was never asked to pay a dime. The most important thing for me was to get back on my feet and fast, which is exactly what the 20 or so employees and 100 or so volunteers at the Jesus Center wanted for me as well. We were able to stay out of the cold at night by staying at the Jesus Center's overnight shelter, the Sabbath House. I felt horrible about having my family stay at a shelter, but the staff made us feel warm and welcome and even referred to us as their guests. During the days when my children were at school, I would spend hours inside the Resource Center at the Jesus Center, getting help from JobLink and scouring the internet for a job. Eventually, I was contacted for an interview. I was ecstatic. There's just one thing. I didn't have anything to wear. That's when the ladies at the Jesus Center reminded me of the free store. I was able to go there and not only receive the hygiene products we desperately needed, but also a new interview outfit, all for free. I got the job, and nothing could keep me down. But I knew that the few $100s I was earning wouldn't be enough to get us out of the Sabbath House. By this point, we'd become regulars at both the Sabbath House and the Jesus Center, and the staff and volunteers saw that I was determined to get back on my feet. They offered us a room at the House of Hope, a transitional house for women that were ready to leave the shelter but not quite independent enough to live on their own. At the House of Hope, I only paid a small fee for rent and was able to do extra work with the Blooming Hope Flower Cart. The Blooming Hope Flower Cart is run entirely by the women at the House of Hope and provides extra funding for the house through their sales. I was able to acquire a fun and inspirational hobby as well as learn a skill that I could take with me into the future. Some of the friends I made while at the Sabbath House earn extra income by working with the Jesus Center's Cleanup Brigade. The Cleanup Brigade's purpose is to clean up the streets of Chico while proving to the community their ability and willingness to work and work hard. While living at the House of Hope, I was also able to obtain an internship at the Jesus Center's 20-acre community farm. I was able to learn how to cultivate food, cook healthy, eat healthy, and take care of a farm. My short internship at the community farm directly led me to a full-time job at a local natural foods company. I was able to move out of the House of Hope and provide permanent housing for my family. However, I still spend many hours a month at the Jesus Center, not as a guest, but as a volunteer. You can help too. The Jesus Center is always looking for volunteers, and if you don't have time to give, donate money, clothes, food, or bedding. Or you could sponsor a community farm intern. Remember, the Jesus Center never asks any of its guests to pay for any of their services. They are run completely from community donations, government grants, and volunteers. Without the community, the men and women would never be given an opportunity to build a better life.